Alright, welcome back to Demon Slayer Anime Review, episode number 36. Yeah, this episode, with this review, this basically puts it one episode behind Bleach for its anime series. And next week will be tied with it. And I think as of currently, if I remember correctly, let's see. Number 1 is One Piece. Number 2 is Case Closed. I'd say number 3 is My Hero Academia. Number 4 is Black Clover. Let's see. I'd say number 5 is probably ReZero. I'd say 7 is Mushoku Tensei. I think this is the... right now it's the 9th longest one right now, but with next week it'll be up to 8. Well, okay, so for this one we're reviewing the penultimate episode of pretty much, I believe this is the 4th season of the show, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, 4th season. And this episode does conclude adapting the Hashira training arc. And there's a really cool sequence in the episode. I'm going to get to that because... So, the name of this episode... I don't know why this one's up here. So, the name of this episode is called Stone Hashira Gyomei Himejima. So, this episode opens with Tanjiro just pushing a boulder at a certain point, and of course, Inosuke basically does it too. Zenitsu is about to start his, and then he gets a letter. This bird has annoyed him, it crosses his nerve force, and then eventually we have Gajira, who basically reveals a little bit of his backstory of how he became a demon slayer. Where you mentioned about the stuff that happened in the previous arc, the Sergeant Village. So, he also reveals basically that he once ran an orphanage at a temple. About 10 years into the series, looks like. Yeah. I'd say at least 10 years. So, there's also this little girl named Sayako who's there, who, from his picture, apparently he's very thin. Yep, everything's like all happy-go-lucky. Very much a nice family. The stuff I can have related. And then one of the boys who broke curfew, they don't say curfew, basically say it we're here late, convinced the demon to spare his life in exchange for killing the teacher and the children. Yep. So, after knocking out the incense, it was the warning away the demons. The demon proceeds to open the door with Gyomei. He's laying on the floor, all the children surrounding him, and he wakes up and 4 of the children have been killed instantly. And then eventually three other ones basically didn't listen to him. They were killed too. And he basically beat the living crap out of this demon. He basically beat it to death. And based upon this 4-year-old girl's statement that she gave to the local police, the police believe her teacher killed the children, despite the fact he was a demon. He was arrested, charged with murder, but he wasn't convicted because the master of the Demon Corps really had him released and became a demon slayer. And of course, now Tanjiro, who initially denies it, is a funny little moment where he basically is like, he's like the Hydra. Look at the Stone Hydra comes by to, well, rehydrate him with water from a canteen, a bamboo canteen. And then right after this, basically, he's completed his training. Inosuke, he's got like his head bleeding, maybe because he's hitting against a rock or something, because something bad has happened. We don't know what. And we see him like, okay, so then we see him having dinner with Inosuke and Geru, the one who's the Geru, I think his name is, Genu. He is the brother of the younger brother of Stone Hashira. I mentioned the whole stuff about him eating demons from like just for this episode. And it's a really good sequence, the fact that basically these two talk. And then, of course, he goes to proceed to the next place. He goes to Gairu's place, the Water Hashira. This I thought was really weird. Like, okay, I thought you already did the whole thing with him. Nope. And then he sees him basically look like he's fighting with the Stone Hashira. The one when they break their swords and look like they're about to be killed. And then, of course, he's like, killing. And, of course, Tanjiro steps down. In the manga, he hops over a fence while doing this. In the anime, he walks to a gate and runs up to basically to them. And he can't kill each other. And of course, he points out though that the Wind Hashira, well, he likes red bean mushi. Guess he can smell him. And apparently he's embarrassed by that. So then eventually he gets knocked out. He just knocks him up to talk about for a while. And then Gyro basically just talks with Tanjiro for a little bit. And then we see the Wind Hashira walking down some steps. There's a really cool sequence here. By the way, it's also a cool sequence when there's Wind Hashira kneeling. I love the animation for this. It's so cool. He's walking down steps. And then he hears something. Grabs it. And he opens his hand. It's an eyeball. A demon eyeball. Now this line, the next thing he says, actually was completely original because he did not say this in the manga. He says, "We have been infiltrated." And then we cut to the coolest sequence in the entire history of the series. We have the main villain of the series walking into the Master of the Demon Corps' mansion. Like, wow, and I love the music for this thing. Like it's walking, but it's so good. Like you see, just the doors open, like all the fog. You can hear the footsteps because Japanese basically their stuff. They love hearing footsteps. Like you can hear like he's walking on like basically rocks and the wood, and it is such a cool sequence. It takes up 5 minutes of this anime, 5 minutes, and you're like, no wonder why I think it was 31 minutes. This sequence is the reason why, but it's awesome. 10 out of 10. Good job, studio. Good job, Ubisoft. Basically the studio made it. Yeah. And the episode ends with him arriving next to the Master Demon Corps, who is bedridden, who cannot see, but can somehow hear him, and says, "It's you, Maruzu-Kazan." And he says, "Oh, you look hideous." Now, the whole thing, him saying hideous, that comes from the end of chapter 136. Him saying his name, that comes from the opening page of chapter 137. By the way, the episode adapted from pages 419 of chapter 134, 135, I'm going through the entire 136, and started to adapt 137. So, this episode finishes up the Hashira training arc. It's all finished. So, with the very next episode, we're going to start the Infinite Castle arc, which is the final arc of the whole series. And I initially heard this is going to be adapted for a 2-part movie. And then I heard recently that it's going to be 3 parts. Maybe get more time. Who knows? But damn. This episode was so good. I love it. Yep. So yeah, that's particularly a particular view. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn notifications, and do not hit the dislike button. Next anime to watch will be Black Butler. Because once finished that episode, that one also has 2 to go. That one has 2 to go. Basically, yeah, it'll have basically 2 left because, well, here's the weird thing. Starting, not this coming week, but the very next week, from June 30th to July 5th, a lot of anime will be wrapping up I'm watching. This one, Mushoku Tensei, wrap up next week. Not this coming Wednesday, but next Wednesday, Super wrapping up. And and of course, Black Butler is wrapping up the following Saturday. And that's all the same week. That is approximately 4 anime I watch. 4? 4 anime I'm currently watching. They all get wrapped up in the span of a week. Now, as for Arch Demon's Dilemma, I Love Upright, I thought they were going to air a new episode this past week, but apparently they skipped a week for some reason. Either they're going to air the episode 11 with the very next this week, or they're going to do a feature. We'll find out when it comes to Thursday. So I'll see you all in my next video, which will be Black Butler. Okay, next video. Bye.